Ariel Lavi is on the line with us here just now. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Great, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Now, first of all, how would you describe what it is that you do? Because you work in the entertainment industry, but are you an actor, a musician, or maybe have you got your finger in many pies?
So I'm an actor, screenwriter, and producer. I'm working in the film industry, and I'm producing films in all over the world currently, so I have a lot of work.
Yeah, and because you're doing films in all over the world, how's that been working during the pandemic? Have you actually been to these places?
It depends on the location. I'm from Israel. Of course, the film in Israel, if there is a film in Israel, I will be on set. But for example, I did two productions outside from Israel in NYC and in Mexico City. So I didn't come to the set because of the Corona limitations. So I managed everything remotely from Israel, and it's working very well, I have to be honest. And these films they succeed. So. One of them won in the 48 Hours Film Festival in NYC, and we will represent NYC in an international film festival. It's called Filmapalooza in Washington, and if the film will be in the top 10 or top 15 in this competition, our film will be screened in Cannes Festival, and in Mexico. I did a short film. It was Sci-Fi. And the name of this film is Metanoia. I worked with a famous actress in Mexico. Her name is Jessica Decote. And the director was an Israeli as well. She's living in Mexico, and her name is Moran Avni. And the other cast, there is Laura Di Luca. She is an amazing actress, and Carlos Hendrick Huber. And I plan to submit this film to Amazon Prime, and I hope that they will accept it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And but of course the best achievement is the film in NYC, Salad for Soulmates. I worked with a huge production department in New York with an actress and producer. Her name is Shira Hadad, and she's an Israeli as well, and of course with the couple show, Christy and Artie Show, they have a company in NYC, and we work together, and we won together in that festival.
Wow, that's quite incredible. How does it feel to win awards for your own work? Is it quite exciting and rewarding?
Yeah, of course, because me and Shira, we are Israelis, and to win in festival outside from Israel in NYC, when all the films apart from us, they are completely American. So this is a big achievement, and we were excited, and we hope to succeed in that film in Washington in March.
Yeah. So what was your beginning like working in the film and acting industry then?
Okay, so it all started in 15 years old. I started as an actor, of course, and I acted for 6 years in the Studio Theater. It's a French theater in my city, Haifa, in Israel. And afterwards, I studied acting at Lee Strasberg Film/Theater Institute in LA for 1 year. And afterwards, I studied screenwriting in a few universities in the UK. For example, the National Film and Television School in Beaconsfield. I guess you know that school. It's very famous in the UK. I did, and there are two in addition, and it was a great experience. And I understood that in order to work in the film industry as an actor, for example, I have to expand my knowledge, and I have to know how to create films, myself, because Nowadays, I think the actors has to know to manage themselves and not to be depend on the agencies, and that's the reason I decided to be a producer. And I didn't know that my career will change completely when I became to producer, because now I'm succeed a lot because of that films. I did 8 films, in 4 months or 5 months, so it was incredible. Really, it was unbelievable. And now it would be easier for me. For example, the next stage is of course to act in my films, but it's hard to combine sometimes between producing, screenwriting, and acting in one production, because this is a lot of responsibilities. So it takes time, step by step. And now I feel ready to do the next step.
Yeah. And how does producing and screenwriting and the behind the scenes stuff compare to being the star of the show and the actor on screen? Do you prefer one or the other, or is it really different and you can't really compare them?
I like everything, but it's really different because when you are an actor, yes, you are the star of the show, but you're not very dominate like a producer, for example. So producing, it's for people who like business, who like to manage, who like to be dominate, and to be an actor, it's for people that want the people that want the attention, and the fame and the glory, and to be someone else sometimes. So it's very different. I like everything, but in different way. Screenwriting, of course, this is the hardest. This is the most difficult thing, because sometimes as a screenwriter you are working alone sometimes about something. It's very boring sometimes. So when I'm doing a script, of course I would prefer to do another role in the production, if it's producing or acting, but I can't be just the screenwriter.
Yeah. And I suppose acting as well, you kind of just do what you're told, so you have to be a person that likes being told what to do, although there still are some actors that end up being directors as well, and maybe direct themselves.
Yes, I think, but to direct yourself, sometimes this is not good, because I think you need another brain, in your acting working. So it's good for the actor, to know, to know a working method of another director. So I'm not sure it's good sometimes to direct yourself.
Yeah.
It's depend, if you wrote the script or not, in my opinion. If you wrote the script, so yeah, it would be better for you, because you know exactly what you need to do. But if someone else wrote the script, I think it would be better for the actor to give the directing stuff to someone else.
Yeah. Do you feel like it could maybe be perhaps a bit of a vanity project, maybe, if somebody's trying to do all the acting and directing themselves?
I'm not a director, so I don't know a lot about directing. But as I told before, in my opinion, it's all the combination between directing and acting. It's depend. In my opinion, the key of the success it's if the actor wrote the script or not, or the director.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So in this case, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, you went to study abroad at one point, didn't you? What did you study, and where did you study?
I studied at Lee Strasberg Acting School for a year in LA, and I studied screenwriting in the UK. And it was a great experience, to know, to know new cultures. The American and the British, it's very different. I studied acting in the US, and screenwriting in the UK. It's different roles in the film industry, but I think that I think it gave me a lot because my working my working method now is more international than the other Israelis in Israel. So it gives me an advantage here in Israel.
Yeah.
And of course, I plan to relocate from Israel very soon. And because I think I learned that these places, they are the best for actors, screenwriters, and producers. But this is not easy, in my opinion, to be alone in different country, in different culture. Israel and the US or the UK, it's very different. Culture and style and working method. So you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
And it's very expensive, to study abroad. So if you want to study abroad, you have to save money and to get a visa. And this is a long process for Israelis. So this is not easy.
Yeah.
But it's possible. Of course, it's possible. You just need to take it seriously, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, and that's something a lot of people don't really think about, the fact that you could just be alone in another country where everyone's different. But do you still feel that that's given you maybe a positive experience, experiencing different cultures, really?
Not just in different cultures. For example, for actors, when you are studying in the US, it's very different from Israel. So, new methods. For example, the Strasberg method is very classical. It's very classical. So it's very important to study this method for actors, in my opinion. And I want to say, thank to God that I had this experience and to study screenwriting in the UK. For example, method of writing from the best country, so. This is amazing, and it's not just the culture. You are discovering a lot of things in the film industry when you are experience something else in different country.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've done interviews with different places all over the world, haven't you?
Yes. I did interviews in 20 magazines.
Wow.
In all over the world, in the US, UK, Israel, radio stations as well in the US, now in your station, radio station, and in the UK, and there are upcoming interviews soon. So it's good. Yeah. It's important, but the most important thing is the films. That the films will be good and the audience will like them.
Yeah. And when you get interview interest with different stations and magazines and what have you around the world, does that just fill you with confidence that your films are being liked in various places around the world?
Of course, it's amazing that other news organizations want to interview me, but I'm doing that because I have to market myself as an artist, and if they like or unlike my films, this is depend on them. But I'm sure my way is good anyway, and I'm not depend on what people think about my films. But of course, I'm listening to the audience. But interviews, as I told before, it's very important. But this is not the most important thing to do.
Yeah,
it's good for marketing, But in the end of the process, you have to do good films.
Yeah, absolutely. And apart from your own films, do you have any favourite films that you've enjoyed watching yourself?
Yeah, of course, a lot. It's hard to choose, I saw many British films and American films. Whoa, it's a hard question. Do you prefer American or British? What would you prefer?
I don't really mind, to be honest, because we watch both here. So yeah.
Okay, so in UK I like Harry Potter.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. it was genius in my opinion. And US, of course, there are a lot. Wow.
Really?
There is Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp, for example.
Oh yeah.
This is an amazing film. I like the films that you can watch, not just once. I mean, this is a series of films, like Harry Potter, and in Harry Potter you have 8 films to see, and it's really amazing to see the process of the character, how he's growing up, and how he's changing. This is amazing. And Pirates of the Caribbean, of course, because I like Johnny Depp a lot. So as an actor, of course, and it was amazing. I like a lot of actors, Adam Sandler, Brad Pitt, and I watched in a lot of films of them. So it's hard to choose, because there are a lot. I mean, a lot.
Yeah. Would you say that those films are the same type of films that you like to make?
No. I'm really open to do everything. I did sci-fi. I did drama. I did comedy.
Wow.
So I'm really open for everything. I don't think it's good to prefer something, to prefer to be specific. So because the film world is there are a variety of genres. So in my opinion, you have to be open.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the key of the success, in my opinion, But it depends on the country. For example, in Israel, you can't produce an action film, for example. But I like action films a lot, So I would love to do that in the US, for example. So it's really depends on the country, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and that's the reason I want to produce outside from Israel, because in Israel it's very limited.
And that's the thing about films, isn't it? Most people probably like pretty much every film genre, whereas music, it's very limited what one person would listen to. But films, people are up for seeing anything, aren't they?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, music and films, this is different, of course, because music, you could prefer, as a singer, for example, you could do just one genre, and the audience could like you. But as a producer and as a screenwriter and as an actor, of course, you have to know, to work in any genre, because this is very different from music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very different.
So what's coming up for you in the not too distant future, and how's 2022 looking so far?
Okay, so I have a new short film that this is upcoming soon in Romania. This is my script. I wrote it, and I'm producing it with Golden Films company in Bucharest. And I have a new script in NYC, and I have a few films that they are in post-production and pre-production. So I have a lot of challenges for the new year.
Absolutely. Well, where can we keep up to date with you and check out all the films that have been released so far?
Okay, so you can watch it on YouTube, for example, and there are films that I didn't release already, because now I'm trying to submit my films to Amazon Prime first, and if it would accept, of course, the audience could see that on Amazon Prime, and on festivals. But each film that I'll get the permission, of course, I'll publish it on YouTube. I have a few films on YouTube already, and so you can watch everything.
Great. Well, thanks very much for joining us here on the show today. It's been great chatting to you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was a big honor.